Rise. When news matters, it matters where you get your news. It's Rise Guys Headlines.
Good morning, everyone.
Paige, wave at the cameras. We're live. You're on the wrong camera again.
Wave to the side, buddy. Yeah, we live.
All right, so back to this. And Quincy Jones, he died on Sunday at the age of 91. So this is coming out in a recent interview about Elvis Presley. And he was asked a question about Elvis and what he thought of Elvis. And and just about what everybody, what Quincy thought of people in the music world. And one guy might not have been his favorite. And it turns out that Quincy Jones wasn't a big fan of Elvis Presley. And during an interview just a few weeks ago, Quincy was asked if he'd ever worked with Elvis. And he said, no, I wouldn't work with him. He was a racist. Mother blank. And then he says he just left it at that. And this came from history of Tommy Dorsey and what Tommy thought of him. So this is just something that just came out in the news recently.
Who's Tommy Dorsey?
Yeah,
I don't. Band, like a big band person.
Oh, okay, like big band and swing. Type.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know him. I don't know why you would take a shot. I mean, I know you're asked, but still.
Yeah.
You kind of play it off like it didn't work out, just or no comment.
Instead of but I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, so that's coming out, and other people that, like Michael Jackson and all the talent behind that. But you would think he would be the same way about Elvis Presley, but obviously he didn't like him and would never work with him for some unknown reason.
Well, that sucks.
I just wonder how many people had access to Elvis. How many people had preconceived notions because they couldn't get to him?
That's what was said when no arrangements could be worked out.
Yeah, or they couldn't get through, Colonel Tom, or maybe you talked to a couple of the Memphis Mafia. You didn't really get Elvis himself.
Or the mafiosos.
Yeah, I think Elvis was so exploited and, by his management company, and it just didn't seem like he was doing the things that he wanted to do. And then he did these movies that he didn't really want to do. And I think it's kind of sad the way his career ended. And he tried to get back and perform again. And he lost all that weight, went to Vegas, and then he passed away. So,
hot damn tamale.
I love you, Quincy. Why would you say that, man?
Well, today's a big day, election day, and we're like a little over an hour into voting. And
but it could be called at any moment.
It could. Stay tuned for that. So, in Mattman alluded to this, that people are having those watch parties, which I say could be a little dangerous if not everybody agrees with who the candidate is at the end, especially if one loses badly. But 8% of the people say that they will host or attend a watch party for the election, even though they have a chance that the person that they're supporting won't win tonight. And then 45% say that they want to be home alone watching the election. What would you prefer to do?
Kevin.
Kim.
I don't want to go somewhere and watch it with a bunch of people.
Nobody would be dumb enough to put themselves in that position, right?
To host that?
Well, just to show up somewhere with you're the dissenting opinion with like a crowd of 50 or 100 people.
Yeah, I think you're inviting people that are like-minded. Right?
Like I know some people try to, make a name for themselves and they almost show up here and cause a stink.
Plus, it's been fun to say all morning long, like, oh, we're going to break in when the results happen. But, I mean, they've kind of already got us programmed to not expect the results tonight.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow, perhaps.
And I imagine
maybe that's what we'll all get for Christmas.
Maybe
new president.
Maybe late in the night when people get a little overserved if they're drinking at these parties. How bad that's going to be when someone loses. It's like, okay, honey, we got to go home now. That would be horrible.
This is not my home.
This is not my country. I'm going to Paris.
The other problem you have is when the results do come in, that's a whole separate other thing.
It's when you don't want to live downtown. You don't.
So 35% say they'll watch the election coverage with friends or family members And I think that might be the worst situation to watch it with family members.
Right,
And
sure.
and 45% say they'll watch it alone, possibly in the dark, with a generous supply of their favorite comfort food or adult beverage.
God, what a bunch of pussies! Like what in the dark with some comfort food? Oh,
It's like,
oh, I'm just hunkering down just in case.
This is one of those things you have on in the background. Like, okay, I'll check in on it. You can sit there for 4 or 5 hours just to get what half of the side of the country over to this way to find out.
Yeah, I mean, you've literally got to wait till the other side of the country votes.
Yeah.
They're 3 hours behind us, right?
in
Or is it 2
California,
now? Because
3 hours.
So you got to stay up past midnight just to see the West Coast
No.
results.
And see, a lot of times I remember the election that California hadn't even voted, and they were almost calling the election that somebody won. And I thought that was terrible because the polls haven't even closed
Yeah.
in California. It was still light outside.
Who will be so
It's-
bold in the comments below to say who you're voting for or did? Who will be so bold?
Oh, you know,
I'm just talking to those in the chat.
this kid's
I know
gotta be-
y'all text in.
There's got to be some. Let's see if they can.
Who will be so bold as to say who you're voting for?
And some people are posing this. Should this be a federal holiday? Should we all be off to vote for election day?
No. I wanted to come in today.
Well, it wasn't.
Why? Because it's the most important day in American history. I didn't want to not be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a thing till the 70s, right?
What, voting?
As far as you weren't guaranteed to vote. Like they didn't have to let you off to go vote.
No. I don't know that it's that way still. I don't know that they have to.
Well, they got to let you vote. Federally, they're supposed
Well,
to.
maybe they're just not. If you're going in late or whatever, then they can't.
Our boss took 2 days off to vote.
Yeah.
Spent in a big line.
Then again, if they're like, you want to have a job or go vote, then you got to, make your choices. Which, look, we all know there are places that are like that still.
Well, according to a recent
Pennsylvania.
study, 70% of Americans think it's a good idea that this should be a holiday. 15% say no, another 15%, they're not sure. They
Next
don't know.
Monday's Veterans Day.
Should-
Yeah.
So 68% would take it a step further and require all companies to give people paid time off to go vote.
Just, well,
Yeah. I mean, I think, but what's that? Take? I already voted. I pre-voted, whatever.
Yeah.
Early vote. But what is it like? What's the time? Put that in the comments below too, or on the live stream, or text in 72341. Not while you're driving. TLCmotors.com. Like, how long does it take? Is it a 2-hour thing? 3-hour thing? I mean, like, because you ask the average American if they have 2 hours available, if they have kids and stuff, they're like, nah, homie, I don't.
even if there's a good time to vote, like, is there a better time to go vote? Even with early voting, you knew the first couple days were going to be packed.
Yep.
And I saw it where they bring it out to your car if you can't get out.
I just wouldn't get it, get at the last moment,
The
get
thing
in
I
there
wonder-
at like 7:55.
In the future, are we going to have
I mean,
this,
6:55.
obviously it will be a different generation, but you know how the baby boomers are kind of the ones that are helping you when you go vote? It's like the volunteer type, the good.
Yeah.
Are we going to, is that going to replicate through generations?
I hope so. Because
Man.
would you want paid people that are wanting money to go and do their civic duty to help you vote? You'd rather have them volunteer.
I mean, the
Yeah.
guy that showed me was just straight up old. There's no way of getting around it.
Yeah.
He was old. I know they look for volunteers,
They don't get paid.
but
They-
some nerd, like they'll trickle down through the system, right? In 50 years, you'll have, some guy you went to school with and made fun of. He's going to help you vote. He's going to walk you to the booth and give
That's why
you
I
a
shouldn't be a bully. You might need them to vote one day.
Or you might be able to vote on your phones one day. Don't have to go anywhere.
But then again, why am I trusting the paper? Why am I trusting the little feed it in and all right, good, I voted.
Oh, you don't trust the system. You think that
Not when it was already pre-selecting things, and that's not augmented video. I mean,
Mhm.
people go in and it's already set to a certain candidate, and they couldn't figure out how to change it, and they were already having malfunctions with like what y'all knew this was coming. Like,
Mhm.
would y'all just fire the machines up like a week ago? Let's see if they work and let's dust them off.
Yeah.
Because you got people, working there that aren't really software keen,
Mm-mm.
even if they could fix it.
No, it does.
Troubleshoot.
It seems crazy antiquated, but I don't necessarily say give Apple the
Oh,
keys
gosh,
to the
no.
kingdom or anybody. Like, where's Deloitte and Touche? They used to do the Miss America pageants.
I
Remember,
would
they'd have the results locked up in a little briefcase.
I
Yep.
would say that most people that work in the poll system, they really have integrity and they believe in the system and they want to count the votes correctly. And it's not a rigged system in America, I would think. Because if we did it online, then of course there's the vulnerability of being hacked completely if we stayed at home and just went to Google and voted.
They couldn't hack them now, though.
Well, I mean, history used to be recorded also, and a lot of that's missing. So just because pen to paper doesn't mean it's all. It's just you just got to do your part and do it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if there's somebody, the due diligence of somebody counting votes as opposed to just sending it out into the system, is what I'm saying.
I thought it was odd. I put my slip in, and I'm like, oh, I put it in the wrong way. She said, don't worry about it. It will read it both ways. I was like, really?
Are you serious?
Yeah. She said it will read it either side.
It had the arrows on it, like
Yep.
this side up.
I'm like,
That was on camera too.
all
Yeah.
right.
Normally
Shame
can
on
blame
you.
those on Paige, but
No, you can never.
hold on video.
Well, I'm Paige, and those are your Rise Guys headlines.
Thanks so much, Paige. Goodbye to everybody. Did anyone say who their well? A couple did.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they're trickling in. Well, not really what all you'd expect, too. It seems to be like a mix.
oh, those are
Okay.
thumbs down. Some thumbs up. All right, go vote if you can.
If you agree with me, I say go vote.
You haven't said who you voted for.
Never will.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Be honest.